Welcome to Put This On, Season 5, Episode 16, where we watch Grand Designs, Season 10, Episode 5, / Kensington. I'm Chris Lorenz.
This is Brian.
This is James.
Noah Singer.
I'm glad Noah just wasn't paying attention there. If this is your first time listening, we critique / review / make fun of a new reality show each week by watching one episode. And this week we watched Grand Designs. Brian, can you give me the show description for Grand Designs?
Sure can. Presented by designer and writer Kevin MacLeod, each episode follows different people who have set out to pursue their vision of a dream home by building it themselves. Each project is completely unique, with many calling for custom-made elements that make the final result not only a home, but also a work of art. Some of the most unusual buildings include a domed house in the hillside built entirely by the owner and his family, and a glass house on top of a Welsh cliff, which is part home, part architectural monument. That's Grand Designs on Watch 4. Or Channel 4.
/ Netflix.
Yeah.
This episode was on Netflix.
Do we still have channels? Those are the thing.
Britain's do, but that's like actual network.
I mean, that's just their brand is Channel 4.
Whoa.
Correct.
We can't all be.
They're probably, yeah. They're likely also Channel 4. That's also the name of the network.
Yeah, get it right. Come on, James.
Hey, there you go. Learn something.
Yeah, so this is a UK show. It's been running for a while. The description of the episode we watched was this is their 100th episode. So
What a way to celebrate.
So this episode, so essentially this is it's kind of a documentary in the grand scheme of things, but these people buy a house and they renovate it. And it's these nuts houses. And this crew shows up every couple of weeks or every so often. And we get to check in how the house is going.
Okay, I got to critique one thing. You said this is like a documentary. I don't know if this is much different than Property Brothers or the Tiny House.
I mean, it's not. I'm just production did not buy this house. Didn't go. These people are buying a house. Didn't do anything other than they're just following these people as they build this house.
Yeah.
In the pocket.
I mean, they're paying them, so maybe that's why it's not a documentary. I don't know. Anyway, let's not get into that. I guess on that note, we didn't do the show we mentioned last week. We were thinking about doing because it was a documentary. So sorry about that. If you watched Open Table Barbecue, that's
why I think what differentiates SMG to be a little bit more reality than documentary is the shooting style.
It definitely feels like a reality show. You get the guy comes in and gives his opinion, and I feel like he's on a reality show, but he's not. He's just building this house.
Yeah, the main character in the show definitely helped sell this as a reality show, where I think if you had a pretty drab main character, this could feel very, I don't even know if documentary is the right word. It would be just bad.
Yeah. It was kind of I'm kind of thankful that these people were kind of interesting who bought the water tower, because they were the easily most entertaining part of this.
It was Lee and his partner. I don't remember. Graham. There you go. So let's get into this. So I'll go over what essentially happens in this episode. So this couple buys a 150-year-old water tower that holds 380, originally was supposed to hold 380,000 gallons of water. And it's just this giant brick building that's falling apart in the middle of London or somewhere in London. Unclear. It's 8 to 10 stories tall. And they bought this house for $380,000, and they are spending over £1 million to renovate this house in the nuts way. What they do to this house is insane. In 8 months, for some reason or not, there's a lot of drama, unnecessary drama around this, that they eventually do in 8 months, which is astounding.
I mean, the stakes couldn't be any higher, Chris. The stakes are very clear that money is a real matter of concern here.
I'm not even sure it is.
They can't get enough of it, it seems. But this is where I feel like it's, it's sort of like maybe this is producer led to make a story. I don't know. But either way, that's sort of this drama that Chris is, kind of glossing over, right? Basically, dudes are hurting for money constantly, and they're moving money all about. He's got some kind of property development company or something. It's sort of unclear / also intentionally a little bit hand wavy, and it feels like there's some funny business going on with like money and possibly taxes. He's definitely like explaining it, but like skirting around the details for this like docu-series interview thing. So like that's something to kind of maybe check into. But beyond that, in the end, spoilers, but like the money all kind of works itself out. He sells stuff right when he needs to. He gets a mortgage on the thing, yada, yada, yada. He's got this crazy property.
Yeah, it was a little weird how like dicey they were around the money. Like they open it up and they're going through how a friend just gives them £500,000. And then I was like, of course a friend. Like there's a whole storyline there that just glossed over and moving along.
Swept that one right under the rug.
Yeah. The whole financing piece is a little
well, and I guess the sense of urgency to like the thing that's kind of this reoccurring beat in the show is like there's always like some deadline approaching, and it really all just kind of comes back to this. They need roughly another 500K or £1,000 to like finish the job, and they like otherwise like production comes to a halt, right? And so in order for the bank to give them a mortgage, it's all like contingent upon them having it be a livable or a habitable place. So it means it's got to be sealed up, livable. It's got to have floors and bathrooms and whatever. So like that's really this whole like thing or a plot line that kind of runs throughout to kind of make it in this reality drama.
I mean, that's what they make it out to seem, is that this guy's
Right.
bankrupt. He needs the money, but like every time we come to him, he's like, yeah, like 2 days I had no money, but then I had 250 grand. Like, where'd you get 250 grand at? Like, what?
Sold
Where'd
some
that come
property.
from?
Saw a man about a dog.
My current theory is that this is Lee's project and we're using Lee's money, but like the other dude's got plenty of money.
Graham.
He's the guy with the money, but he's not involved in the show or like this project. And like, if Lee gets in real trouble, Graham just comes in and gives him more money.
Graham did seem like a little bit of a baller.
Definitely every time he was on the screen, like, oh, he's got money. They're not hurting. They're not going. Like, one of the things that happens like immediately when they like go over this thing, like, I got the 500K from wherever, and he bought it for 300K, which we're not sure where that money came from. And he's like, Lee says, what's the worst thing that could happen? I could go bankrupt or jump off the top. Like, what? Yeah, those are pretty bad things. Like, especially when bankruptcy means that he owns like houses and is lending them out to people. Like, he's got a business, like a property business. He's just blowing it on this whole stupid house.
You wished he wasn't a baller, man.
Yeah, it's all going in. I do want to say, so the house is in the middle of London, like properly the middle of London. So the episode title is Kennington. Kennington's a stop on the tube. They're probably like maybe a 20-minute walk to Buckingham Palace. Like they're pretty in the central thicket of things.
I mean, that size water tower, I could see it.
I find it nuts that even if they ended up spending like £3 million on this, which is like $4 million US, for a big ass brick building in the middle of London, that seems dirt cheap.
Yeah. The thing in the end is like what, like a 5-bedroom?
It's a 5-bedroom like place.
3-4 bathrooms, like crazy insane. So like we definitely need to like kind of set up some of the layers of this thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do we unpack this?
So like, all right, so they got this 8 to 10 story building, and at the top is the water tower. There was just giant like metal, like heavy thing
A tank,
hold water.
like a water tank.
And like before we get there, the dude pays thousands of pounds to remove dead pigeons and pigeon poop. This place is just decrepit and like gross.
How did you catch the stat of how many pigeons?
It was
This
like
was
120 pigeons or something.
No, it was 20,000 pigeons. 20,000 dead pigeons in that water tank. Could you imagine that? That's so fucking many pigeons, dude.
That's so gross.
Like, oh my god, the smell must have been horrendous. That couldn't have been
That was
good.
3M suits.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
No
like,
wonder it was 7,000 pounds to clean it out by professionals. Woo.
so we see it after they've removed all this poop. But I'm assuming not before they did like a real deep clean or anything going on there. But it was like this giant metal thing with a bunch of metal tubes running all over the place as like kind of structural to hold up many, many thousands of gallons of water. So like that's the level of engineering we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
that's the
yeah.
top. What they planned and what they did with the top was they took out all the metal tubing, they cut a hole in each wall, have like a window, and just turned it into like an observatory living room. And it was baller.
Oh
It was
yeah. This is the like iconic showpiece of the entire property for sure. Like the whole pitch is like it's a 360-degree view of like London, like from 8 floors up.
Like this could legitimately be a thing that you'd pay to go see. Like it's not as good. Obviously, other like tall buildings in London are better, but like it's pretty good. It's like better than anything in like Dublin. So there's no tall buildings in like Dublin.
Yeah, the Guinness Tower is like the closest thing.
Yeah, it's just like this is like really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed what they did with it. But the first thing I thought was, I do not want to climb up like so many flights of stairs. Like if you invited me over, like I just can't do it just to experience this.
Well, so there is an elevator. So they added like an external building, and part of that building is an elevator. But they said the elevator was going to go up to like 6 floors. I don't know what floor it actually goes to, but like this is on like the 10th floor. So that you
Takes you halfway, like roughly. They say at some point.
I
Yeah.
don't think that I don't
Yeah.
think the elevator actually makes it to the 6th floor.
Yeah, I couldn't get that. So they build the whole elevator shaft structure. Like it's only for the elevator because the cube is for the other rooms.
Yeah,
And
we'll have to get into the
elevator-
cube.
The elevator doesn't go to the top,
For sure.
which
I think that it
It's
just
just a matter of
I
money,
think they
for
just
sure.
lumped it off. I think it's just part of the cube. It goes up to the top of the cube, and if you want to keep going, you got to walk.
For sure.
Yeah, eating
It's
that
definitely
popcorn in
part
front
of
of
that
the
cube
TV is gonna be good.
So yeah, so they add an elevator, and they also add a whole separate building that's a 4-story, also just giant, like fucking building. Like it's a whole house in itself. You could just live there.
easily.
They just have the bathrooms in that one though, right? Like,
So,
that's what
like,
they're talking about the
All right,
cube.
so the elevators, there's bathrooms right next to the elevators. So the first floors have bathrooms.
Right.
And then this other cube building that they've created has like a kitchen, and I don't think there's a bedroom.
sitting area. It's like a loft, so it's like 40 meters or 40 feet.
Meters.
Meters. So that's really big. So a 40-meter tall, like all glass panels
Yeah, that just
like
open
3
up
stories
all
tall.
the floors.
Yeah. that are sliding like sliding doors.
There's
Bonkers.
sliding glass doors that are 40 meters tall.
Right.
Like
And weigh
That
like a
just
half a
seems
ton each. And
No, wait. They weren't
Yeah.
40 meters tall. That's like
They were-
120 feet.
yeah.
It was 40 meters wide, I think. Like 120 feet wide, like all those panels.
these are like 3 to 4 story like glass doors. That's all you need to know.
Okay,
Like you
can the
open
internet
them on
figure
one
this out?
story and open them for all of them. And they were like you could move them with like barely any effort. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Like this was, they could have just had this whole show could have just been about those 4 stories, and it would have been fascinating. Just to be like, man, that looks so cool. Like, I just can't imagine like having just that in your house.
Yeah, and all the finishes they did were amazing. Like, there's a whole other episode just on the finishes they put into this place.
And everything.
Yeah, the best was they have a 6-man bathtub in his shower area. I really liked how they got that in there.
And it was also in a hidden area, which means that like all party goers cannot access it.
Yeah, unless you've seen the show.
Well,
yeah. So that's what they did. They added externally. There's only one kitchen in that. They didn't add a kitchen into the main like 8 stories or whatever.
The water tower. Yeah.
Quick question: did they add like a bathroom to like the living room area at the top?
No.
So like, if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to climb down like several flights of stairs.
Oh yeah.
That's terrible.
So here's what I wrote. I didn't get every floor, but here's what the floor plan is. So first floor is a gym. Then there's a bedroom. Then there's another bedroom. Then there's a 2-floor like master bedroom. Then there's a study. Then I think there's another bedroom and then a living room.
Well, the living room is in the water tank at the top.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the.
But there's 5 bedrooms, so I don't know where the other bedroom is.
I think you skipped one bedroom on your way up. Like, I think it's like bedroom, double bedroom for the master loft.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. There's 5 bedrooms in this place somewhere.
You asked where you missed it, and I was just telling you.
I didn't ask. I just said I missed it.
Oh, okay, well, now we know.
Yeah, the place is immaculate, but the whole bathroom thing, like, I wonder if it's like a water piping issue, because like if you're on the top floor, you know they're gonna just go to like have some bucket up there because they're gonna get lazy. They're gonna get lazy.
They're not gonna get a bucket, dude. They're gonna get a catheter.
Oh
wait. Well, I mean, okay. Did they put a balcony up there too? Because you can just pee off that.
No, there's no balcony.
One half.
There's no balconies, which was kind of disappointing to me. I feel like a balcony would have been really cool.
Well, there is on top of the cube. There is the rooftop terrace.
Oh yeah.
So that you kind of get your outdoor balcony kind of.
It's not as cool to pee off that though.
It's only peeing off that in front of the 40-meter windows. Everyone's gonna see the pee. That's terrible, Brian. It's like, oh damn, Brian's peeing off the terrace again.
They're just gonna all of it.
Actually, no, wait. They definitely have a bathroom in the water tower. Remember, they were
they have a bathroom in their bedroom suite. There's a bathroom.
The master bathroom, yeah. Okay.
But I'm not sure there's any other bathrooms. We didn't really get a good look at the architecture plan. They did not mention any other bathrooms.
No.
They showed it on the screen for about a half a second.
Right. Yeah, they easily could have made this into like a feature-length film about this whole project.
That would have been so long. I think it was condensed nicely.
Yeah, I'm not sure that like the subject matter would have lasted that much longer.
I gotta be honest. By the end of this, I was like, all right, I'm good here. Like, we're good. I gotta be done with this water tower.
I think the only issue that I kind of had with the show was like how much the money talk just kept. The only thing they cared about, like the only drama or anything that anyone cared, like you heard that guy talk like a million times just about money. And I'm just like, I get it. You don't have a lot of money. Well, did you stop? Okay, well then shut up.
Yeah, I like how they kept referencing in the show. They're spending £35,000 a week. And they mentioned it's like maybe 5 times, and at some point they're like, "Oh, he's spending £5,000 a day." Like they just did the division to like shake it up a little bit because they were getting so repetitive on the same damn line.
Yeah.
Maybe the other thing to knit though, I'm curious how you guys feel about it. I feel like a lot of this was focused on the work in progress and the construction phase. I'm just kind of curious, like. At some point, I'm like, I kind of would rather almost focus a bit more on like the finished thing. And like, okay, cool, get the construction, but like, I don't really need to see. I feel like the construction phase was a little extended.
No, that's the show. The show is all about the construction phase.
Okay, so that's just the show.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much more of the show we'll be doing. We'll see.
I guess we'll
Spoilers
find out later in the
rating section.
The ratings question segment. So other minutia that I thought was fun, was good, because they went to talk to the architect that architected this whole like house, and dude is like, this plan is nonsensical. I don't know what the fuck you do with that stupid building. Just let it fall. Like he just
Good answer.
He was just like, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you guys.
Yeah, he was, as much as like a respectful like British person could trash mouth something, he was running it through the gutter.
The also, so like the project manager was also kind of like some sort of like historical recreation expert or something.
Restoration,
and they like had to go through, and like literally the like facade of this like building was like crumbling. Like there's some plants that were pushing all this like bricks out, so they took like through the facade, they took bricks out of the facade one by one, cleaned everything, put them back in, put new whatever grout between them. Just like the amount of money to do that is just nuts. Yeah. Like you're just paying people to do like, I don't think they were doing anything like expert level. Like I don't think you needed like craftsmen to do it, but like you needed somebody to oversee it like a craftsman.
Yeah, you need to make sure nobody's going to break that stuff and like just throw in new brick.
I mean, they had a lot of craftsmen. They said at one point in the show they had 30 different trades working on the project, which is, I can't even list off 30 different trades in construction. Like, who knows?
A lot more than you know.
No, sure, but I like just like for like what you consider a house project, like 30 different experts all working at the same time.
And some of those had teams of people. Like there was the glass team that just came in and did the freaking like gigantic window things.
Yeah.
And that was a team of like 10, 12 people.
Oh yeah. Glass team was big.
That was another piece of manufactured drama.
Yeah, the glass. Yeah. So like their like first glass guys like didn't come through, so they needed a second glass guy.
He got ghosted.
Yeah.
Supposedly. The glass in this building is nuts. Not only there's the sliding glass doors, but they had like glass, like so many windows throughout the whole building. Like they were in their master bedroom and you could see like 4 floors of like windows.
And they had these really impressive like vertical like top to like bottom just riser windows that just ran like the entire between the old and the new buildings. That was their whole theme. It was like you have a mix of the old and the new, and like the transition is like these gigantic glass like dividers basically. So like when you walk between them, it's kind of cool. You can see and like look up and down both the old and the new building structures and sort of, just kind of take it all in.
Yeah, it was very cool. The thing I kept thinking about in my mind, how in the world do they clean all these windows?
They're not.
They just don't?
It's going to be so dirty. You gotta get like a fire truck to come in there. Hose it down.
You're definitely hiring people to do that. Like people get that done like all the time with apartment buildings. You can easily do that for this.
Yeah, but usually you have like a lot of people live in those buildings.
Yeah, well,
if you had the rappel rope hooked up right, you could just like go down the whole thing in one go. Just ride it down.
America's Next Top Window Cleaner.
All right, guys, I have a question for you. Would you want to live in this house? Good audio, guys.
I don't think so. I think that like the too many stairs are annoying.
You could just live in the 4-story piece.
Yeah, okay. Let me live there. Like, screw like the baller living room. Like, that's like after the date thing, and then
I think I'd have to at least walk through this place one time to get a feel for it. But like 8-9 floors of stairs for just like one building that is your property, I don't know. It seems like a lot of effort. I also just don't know like the situation where the building really is. Like, what's the neighborhood and like what's going on there? Are you,
Kennington.
like, I don't know that. I don't know anything about it. So I just, you know, you're asking a lot if I would like live also just in London randomly. Like, there's a loaded question.
I didn't think this was a hard question.
This is a very-
Obviously, you want to live there. What do you mean? Like, that's not
This
even a
seems
question.
like the easiest question in my mind. It's a baller place. You're in the middle of London. You have a private gym. You have like incredible kitchen, amazing rooftop. Like, assuming that I'm not paying any more than I'm paying, or I'm paying nothing.
Oh, right.
This
Like,
seems
are you
like
paying
a-
the $4 million for it, or like, what are you like? What's the cost, Chris? You can't just.
No, I assume that like cost is out of the picture. Like you're just asking, like, hey,
I was
would
just
you?
asking if you would live there.
If you see
the
that on-
next question would be, how much would you pay?
Oh, definitely not $4 million.
But like,
But I don't know. Like, I don't know how much I would like the place. to be.
honestly, I would buy the place, live in the 4-story new part, and then Airbnb out the old part. You got 4 or 5 bedrooms over there. Like, you make bank. Like, rent that out.
Dude, if
There
you
you
like
go.
turn that into a hostel and like it like the top floor is like a hangout bar area, like you're making money.
You don't make money at a hostel.
No,
No, but like a hostel type thing where like a group of people like traveling
well,
are coming
just-
there.
That's the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely not an Airbnb where you get your own stuff. It's like you get a bedroom.
Yeah.
And you have to share the top floor. And there's no kitchen.
you get the
Access to the
experience.
old stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
You get access to the gym if you want.
No, that's extra.
What? Now you just took away the private gym? Oh man, it's really
No, it is. No, it didn't. He just gave it back to himself. Anyone have any other?
Wait, Chris,
What?
would you live there?
Yeah, I said obviously it's the easiest question ever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
It's not a loaded question. We ready for questions? Questions?
How many of them are loaded?
All of them.
Loaded
This
question.
one doesn't really work that well for this show, but who's the worst human being? Is there one? Like, I don't know.
The glass people who didn't show up.
The ghosting glass people?
No, I got it. It's the restoration guy that made this dude like restore these insane arches at the top of this thing that nobody can really see. He was
I don't
definitely
think they
just
stayed in
undergunned for that money.
I don't know if it was made at all. I think that was just like that just needed to be done.
Yeah, but like you didn't need to spend $100,000 on that or whatever it was. Like you could have done that for less. It's like, no, you got to restore it 100%. Like if you really care about this building, blah blah blah.
This dude cares way more about his style
Right.
and his house than anything. So like, I
Right.
don't think that was any question that he would like obviously restore it. And we know that money's not really an issue.
Who knows?
Credit
Fake
cards
drama.
exist.
I agree with Chris. Like, I think the whole financing thing is somehow manufactured. Like, if you're literally running on that shoestring of a budget, you don't look as healthy as this guy looked. You're going to be cracked out.
Dude, all the drama was manufactured. Like every single piece of it. Like I can't think of one thing that like just they didn't hand wave over or like it didn't seem like a problem.
And that's why it's a reality show and not a documentary.
Exactly.
What was the most baffling or cringeworthy moment?
More manufactured drama where they're like, oh, we got to finish this by like June because we're on this government land that we're getting loaned out.
Yeah,
And
that
then-
is something we didn't talk about. Like,
Yeah.
it's very weird.
But then like June, so he says, all right, we have to give it back on June 12th. I'll deal with it on June 11th. June 12th, he just doesn't deal with it. Like he's like, yeah, let's just not say anything.
It's like,
Okay.
you're not airing this yet, right?
And
What is the implication here? So like the implication, so he says that when they're building this new building on this new property, he says he only they're only lending him this land until June 12th. But then what happens when he completes it? Like, does he like get it? Like, I don't understand. What is going on in London? Can somebody email us and inform us what's going on?
I don't know. You're getting into the real nitty gritty here around like property rights and like laws and regulations and stuff that like I feel like we don't really need to be dancing in. But like the long and short of it seems is that there's some sort of alleyway or shared space or like, you know, government owned or whatever that basically provides better access to this building and basically enough room to sort of work on the building, build out the scaffolding, get these giant trucks through this alley and around the building, etc. So it's, you know, it's kind of important that he has this, you know, access to this extra room, but it's not necessarily his, you know, for the long term.
So does that mean that he didn't build this new property on that property? It was just like adjacent?
Yeah, I think it was just like, you know, in order to get those giant windows back there and get these giant, you know, cement trucks, etc. He just had all these giant like construction equipment and machinery that was needing that room so they could work.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah, like the cube and like his actual buildings, I believe, are on his property.
All right, that makes sense. It was not explained very well in the show. Thank you, James.
I agree. That was what I managed to piece together. But I do have a baffling stat. I'm bringing it up again. It's the 20,000 dead pigeons. That's just so many dead pigeons. I was really kind of a little bit horrified by that.
Let's see. Like a baffling moment to me is when they're taking the like, they have these tub that they're moving up to like some floor, and they're just like they got this pulley system. And it's just super slow. It's taking like 8 people to like move this tub up like 5 floors or whatever it is because it can't fit in the stairs.
Yeah, they had to create a pulley that moved a tub 1 inch at a time for 70 feet.
Nuts.
It's and it took them an hour.
That costs you like $5-6 grand just to move that tub.
Oh yeah, there was like 6 guys, maybe 8 guys, like all working on this thing for 1 hour.
It was a huge tub, though. Gigantic, 4,000-pound porcelain tub.
Yeah,
that was nuts. What's your favorite minor minutia, Brian? What do you got for me?
Ooh,
not ready yet.
Oh yeah, I have one. So during one of the times he's like Leah's in a taxi, like talking about money and stuff. They just keep kind of flashing over to like the taxi meter.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if that's like the production like burning him or like just trying to like make him more aware that like, oh shit, you're losing more money.
I have a couple. One I like was so they were the host was talking to like some of the workers, and the workers were like, would you like to live here? To the host. Or like the host asked them, and they said, sure, or whatever. Then they asked the host, and the host said, no, it's in London. He did not want to be living in London.
Yeah, there was not really much elaboration there. That was just sort of seemed like a running joke that I didn't get.
Yeah. Well, like I think people there would get it more than like people in America.
I mean, I guess he's just not a big city person. I don't know.
Or London could be like our New Jersey.
Yeah, I think it's the 100th episode. There's probably like a joke from the show where he is not a city guy, is my guess.
Noah, James, you have a minor minutia?
I'm going to build on Brian's. It's funny because they show Lee like ostensibly going to a bank to try to get a loan in the cab. But he talks about he can't even buy like a sandwich now. Yeah, he's not taking the tube. He's taking a cab, which in London are really expensive. Like they're not cheap. And so it just brings more credence. The whole financing drama is total bullshit.
Oh, it's definitely bullshit.
Okay, yeah. So those shots were definitely like burning them.
Yeah.
I've got, let's see. There's 122 stairs and 90 meters of carpet to cover those stairs. But that was kind of interesting. A lot of stairs to climb up, Brian.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I like that they show Lee upholstering and building out some random furniture in like an apartment.
Oh, I wrote that down.
Yeah, it's like he's building out with some like IKEA furniture, and like it's meant to show like this is how he like really like pulled himself up from the bootstrap supposedly. It just turns out to be a very non sequitur type of piece.
He just says, "I just want to get this sofa built," and like gets up and throws the tool. It was great. That is also another reason why it feels more like a reality show. Like these shots. Last minor minutia I have is like the host is going into the kitchen and then he says like, "Oh, it's so white," and then Lee's like, "What? No, it's bisque white. It's bisque. It's not white." And then the host is like, "Oh, it's nearly white because it's white. Get over it."
Yeah.
So what's a good drinking rule for this show? Brian, you got one?
Every time they mention The View.
The View?
I mean,
that's just for this specific episode.
No, but I think that like you're gonna have other places that like are gonna bring up views and everything.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was gonna say every time somebody is just staring at the building and there's just a long extended shot of just starage, just gazing at whatever the hell they're building.
I have a note on that, but I'll go back to that. Noah, you got a drinking rule?
Yeah, so this would be for the series. Every time they encounter an unexpected problem.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Anytime they mention not having enough money.
I was gonna say fake drama. When you smell it's fake, drink it up.
I think you should finish your drink if they fail to complete their project.
Would this have like entailed that? Because they definitely didn't meet like some of their deadlines.
No, I know. Like the end of this episode, their project's complete, so you don't have to finish.
Okay.
But if you get to the end of the episode and they don't finish, then you drink.
Got it.
James, on your point, like there's this one shot where like the three of them were up on the like in the observatory, and then they had a shot from outside, and it looked like you could see them very clearly. There's no like hanky panky happening in that room. You could see them from for ways away. I thought that was funny.
I mean, you can hanky panky, you just can have other people join it.
Depends how much of a voyeur you are.
Yeah.
So what the famous question we have is, what's the production schedule? Which seemed pretty clear here.
Yeah.
8 months.
Yeah.
But like how often were they on the site? Like every 2 weeks, every month?
Yeah, but I think that's good because they just like run around to like different places that are going on at the same time and then just record there. Like your production schedule is going to be the same for all these houses. It's just going to be for a whole season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like while they're doing this one, they're doing other episodes because it's not like a weekly thing. So like, but like this specific episode is 8 months.
Yeah,
other episodes could be way longer. Who knows?
Yeah,
Sure.
they also didn't shoot consecutively. Like it seems like month 1 to 4, they were on site much more often, and then they just zipped to month 8.
Maybe it just wasn't all that interesting. Maybe they got the money lined up and it was just like, this guy's fucking talking about like what kind of dowel rods he wants. And it's like, no one fucking cares.
Right.
No, they just didn't want to hear him talk about the money anymore, so they had to get away.
I doubt that, but it's also possible. Do we want to talk about the parents? Like who started the show? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
This is a pretty early show for season 10 to be in like 2011. Like, I don't know when the show started.
I can at least like describe relatives. Like I'm going to try to look up data at the same time, or Noah can also help out in the internet corner.
Yeah.
I definitely see like house hunters, like tiny house hunters, like that. Maybe like MTV Cribs a little bit.
Definitely feels a little like MTV Cribs.
Yeah, but that's like second cousin or something like that. Because you just want like you got a little bit of extravagance and like just wildness to it. Or Pimp My Ride, like
Yeah, I just don't know the like timeline of all this stuff, you know.
Yeah, so this came out in 1999.
So like that's before a ton of stuff.
This is the OG.
Damn, we hit like a second OG show.
Like it's like I don't know what precedes it to say what influenced it. Because I don't know if any like there was no like none of these HGTV shows like channels where they were just pimping out like
no way that's
House Hunters.
That entire channel is born off of this show.
But this show, like, I mean, we can get into our next question. But
when did like the Nat Geo and Discovery Channel stuff start up? That's the only other realm that I could think that like there are some shows that are, you know, similar-esque.
So House Hunters also premiered in 1999.
There you go.
So there's definitely something that is like both of these shows kind of like took as influences, House Hunters and the show.
Yeah, HGTV started in 1994. My hunch, I'm probably gonna get a lot of things wrong here, but like it seems probably like in the mid 90s, there's like an explosion, or even earlier, of like the niche cable channels. You know, and then overseas, you know, where they don't really have the same programming type of setup, they're just like picking, you know, to then do their own shows on their public channels.
I don't know. All right, guys, ready for ratings? So if it's your first time, ratings we do in a stack ranking system. So you put this reality show in your top, middle, or bottom third compared to other reality shows. So Noah, why don't you give it to me?
I really enjoyed the show. This is going in the top for me. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the top because as we talked about, there's some things that are like seemingly manufactured, and I think that they disproportionately focus on like the development, which I get that is the show, but not enough like on the touches and actually understanding the property a bit better. And so that's what's keeping out of the top of the top. But solid top show, bottom of the top.
All right, Brian, what do you got for me?
I want to put top of the middle. I thought some of the British humor was great. Just like burning the building, burning even the city.
I mean, you got to burn London. Come on.
Yeah, but like Noah said, like it didn't go into a lot of like the details. It went into like some of the bigger decisions, but I think maybe other like this was a big project. Maybe other shows are a little bit lighter, but yeah, it wasn't as cool as I thought.
James, what do you got for us?
Here's the thing: the show is going in the middle. It's enjoyable. It was fun. It was a little too long for my liking, but I would be curious to see some other shows. I found with this one, I just got sick of the damn water tower after a while. I'm like, I get it. It's an old water tower. Like, cool. These things aren't made like that. But, you know, I didn't have that same passion for the building that these guys clearly did. But with that being said, the show is well done. It's well produced, etc. But I'm going to still go in the bottom and the middle for some of the, you know, nitpick critiques on it. I think it's got a little room to grow.
Those critiques. I'm gonna go with top. I think it's a good show. I liked it. I'd be interested in watching more. Like, I think it's really compelling to go from like, this is our project, let's check in every couple of weeks, see how it's going, and you know, this time was successful and super on plan. People spent a bunch of money. Like, I assume that's not every episode. So like, but I don't know if every episode is like that, then like probably isn't going to be as good, but I assume that each episode's going to be something slightly different. It's not going to have every time, not going to have a giant water tower in the middle of London to like renovate. So like, I can't imagine that that's what it's going to be.
No, I do think like they're all going to be like crazy buildings though.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see people like watching these people build this crazy building with like was just really compelling to me. It's same thing where I like Tiny House Hunters. It's all about the people and like the craziness that they go through. It's not like about like how beautiful the house is. It's like, what the fuck are you doing and who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
this is what I like about it. So it's gonna go in the top. That's it for this show. Does anyone have anything else they want to shout out?
Got to start talking about Raised by Wolves at some point. Like that show is wild.
I'm still an episode behind. I've only seen the first two.
I saw the first one before coming over here, and holy,
yeah, that's the only thing you could say after watching the first episode is like, what did I just watch? Because it's like it's out there.
It's pure good sci-fi.
I don't know. It's out there. That's all. The Boys is also back on Amazon Prime. The first 3 episodes of season 2 were really good. I like that. Noah, you have anything you've been watching?
Nothing notable. We're catching up on Shark Tank. I'm still rewatching The Office. I'll be doing that for a bit. And yeah, watching like a lot of the old contents, like Ugly Delicious, actually getting through that. Nothing on the cutting edge.
You not new season of Selling Sunset? Not yet?
I'm telling you, season 2, I couldn't get far. I'm done. I'm off the strip.
Maybe you should just go to season 3. You know, it could be even better.
For the love of the pod, I'll do S3E1, but we'll see.
Can you live tweet it from our Twitter account for us?
I'll think about it.
That's actually a cool idea.
James, you been watching anything?
The thing is, I have now caught up on the backlog of all of Below Deck.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of episodes to get through, but it has been done.
So if you compare Below Deck to Below Deck Med to Below Deck Sailing Yacht, which one's the best?
I think original Below Deck is the top. It's definitely got the most depth in like history and like just some of the better storylines of the seasons. I think some of the best seasons I think are in that one. Sailing Yacht, I used to think that like the Med was like the cream, so like it's tough to reverse them around here. But I think Sailing Yacht it might have a slight edge just because it's kind of just so different. Like, like the whole sailing boat, like mega yacht for that is just a totally different situation and kind of a new angle, a new aspect, a bunch of new people, some returning. So like that was really cool. It'll be interesting to see if that like continues to hold up. But yeah, I don't know. They're all in the top. So they're razor's edges between them. But I would probably say OG, maybe followed by Sailing Yacht just because of the nuance, and then Med. But Med's great too.
Next week, I need you to come with a stack ranking of each season compared to all the other seasons. So
I'll have to get some thinking together.
You have to have this will be your homework, James.
Woo, buddy. Okay, for the pod, for the love of the pod, as some would say.
As some would say. All right. Well, that's it for us this week. You can find us on Twitter at whobitthesun. You can find us on Facebook.com/whobitthesun. You can email us questions and suggestions at whobitthesun@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time. Vanderpump Rules? It's very similar. Where it's like,
the parent of Below Deck.
It's like these people that work at like a nightclub.
Oh, I don't
or
know.
at like a fancy restaurant.
It's a restaurant, yeah.
Yeah, less interesting. I feel like I like the boat aspect.
Like Vanderpump Rules has sex with Gilligan's Island, you get Below Deck.
Right, but I like the boating aspect. That's the reason I'm into the show.
What about Survivor?
I've seen it. It's okay. I don't know. It doesn't hook me.
Well, I was just trying to say that it was Vanderpump Rules and Survivor, but or just a boat. It's Vanderpump Rules and a boat.
Yeah. That's definitely how they pitched it. But on a boat.